Welcome back, guys, to Crystal's Claws and Coffee. I'm Jenny.
I'm Brenda.
And tonight we will be talking about the Great Resignation.
Ooh.
We are part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We count. We are a statistic. And I'm loving it. I love that for us. Let's toast to that. Cheers.
We are a statistic for sure.
We swapped out our coffee for some wine because this is definitely a wine type of conversation.
Yeah. I'll probably be refilling that glass.
I got you, girl. I got you. It's right
in the
here.
back.
Yeah. What a crazy year. I feel like the Great Resignation was not something we coined, but it's an actual thing for what year are we in? 2021?
Yeah.
2020?
Yeah.
And do you want
to
so talk about how yours went down? I feel like yours was a little bit more planned.
Yeah, mine was definitely more planned in the sense of so I was a journalist. I still consider myself a journalist, obviously. So every, time that we start a new job, you get a contract.
Right?
You have a contract. So you're handed a contract. My contract with my prior station was for 3 years. And usually it's like 2 years, but this one was 3. And I got handed my to renew back in August. Mm-hmm. So August 2021.
To renew in October.
Right. For 2 more years. And I had already known that I wanted to leave, but it was a hard decision because you have this programming that you're so used to of like, this is a steady paycheck, you have great insurance, like you have all of this stuff, all the benefits and like, you have to pay your bills. Right. But because I had already known that there was a possibility that I was going to not renew, I had already started saving my money. And I just got overwhelmed with the idea of renewing for 2 more years because I just physically couldn't.
Yeah.
And I don't think people like understood that. And it's fine because no one has to understand.
That's true.
No one has to understand. I remember when I told my parents and I was like, they were parents and they're going to say whatever they have to say. And I literally just looked at them. I was on FaceTime with them and I was just like, I'm not asking y'all for permission. I'm not asking y'all for permission. I'm just telling you guys so that when I don't have a job to go to on this date in October. Don't be surprised.
Right.
So I had already had that in my mind and I was working with my agent and he tried to get me to do another year or something. And I just couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, I just need to get out. Like I just need to leave. And I was just so like, I don't know if I was burnt out because the mind plays tricks on you. Because when I was starting to like, when I knew I was leaving, I started kind of enjoying it again.
It's like getting out of a relationship where you're like, wait, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Is it?
And it's like, everything's bad, girl. Like everything is bad.
Your brain is just trying to rationalize like the decision to leave.
Yeah. So I was just like really burnt out. And what I was telling you is that as a journalist, you literally make it a priority to tell everybody else's story.
Right.
You never share yours. And sometimes you can, seem as if you know somebody through whatever they post on social media, but you don't.
Yeah.
You have no idea who people are. And it's a facade anyways. Social media is just a facade for
anything you see on social media.
I don't believe anything. And I was just like, I'm not happy here. And like, I'm not happy with my surroundings. And like, I want to just make a huge change. And that was just such a huge change for me. And it was definitely out of my comfort zone. And going back, like you make it a priority to tell people stories. But then I started realizing like, what about mine?
Yeah.
What about Jenny's story? Like what about her that like I don't put before anyone and I should.
Right.
And it was just like it was definitely a tough decision. But when I finally was like, I'm not resigning, I don't need this. Like, I just realized like, it really just, what am I losing? A steady income? when there's money for everyone in this world, you can figure out ways. You just got to figure it out. You just got to figure it out. It's not easy.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like, you start getting creative. Like, okay, what can I do? Like, all these different things. So I was just like completely like burnt out, and I was just like over it. And yeah, that was just me. Like, I was just like, I need to be done with this chapter.
You had to make that decision pretty earlier on.
Yeah. So I just like, I was over it, and I wanted to just travel. I wanted to be free. I just kept saying, I just want to be free.
I feel like that's a lot of people's big goals, right? Mm-hmm. To be able to travel, have freedom to travel, but it's so hard when you have this job that just ties you down to everything. Yeah. But for me, my situation was that I could literally do anything I want at my job.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if anyone from my old job is listening to this, but I had a lot of flexibility with my job. And like taking off. I know you had to like pre-plan your vacation
a year in advance.
For me, it was like pick up and go, bring my laptop. I could work from anywhere. And, I had the ability to work remote, which was, I'm grateful that I was able to work during the pandemic and have a job and have income, be able to save money and do all those things. But what I realized also was that I was getting super burnt out, and it was a lot of pressure I felt from my firm to perform, because I was in marketing and we were trying to win all these jobs to like keep the firm afloat, like it was such a bad time for everybody, for businesses. So we were just really trying to like stay afloat, and I felt a lot of that burden. So I was like very burnt out, working like really long hours. And it's hard when you're working from home. You just like get up out of bed and you just roll over and you get on the computer and you sit there, and it was just not the life that I wanted to live. So I also had to question, like, what is it that I want to do? Is this what I signed up for? Is this what my life is going to look like for another year? Because at that point, who knew what was going on with the pandemic? How much longer are we going to have to do this? Are we ever going to go back to the office? And I never wanted to go back to the office. I did not. Same. I never wanted to go back in. That was a sign for me, a flag for me that was like, I don't even want to be there. So that was one of the flags. And I think mine was voluntary. So I could do a lot of different things. I could have worked part-time. I could have worked remote. I could have worked from California. But I chose to quit.
You're like, bye, bitch.
Straight up, I like picked a date because I kept being so indecisive because I'm a Libra and on the fence about things that I knew I wanted to end sometime soon, but I just couldn't commit to a date. And so
it's hard.
And it was hard. And one day I think my manager just got fed up with me. She's like, you just gotta tell me when.
Yeah.
And so I just picked a date in November.
I remember.
After I moved to California. So that was a big change too. That kind of affected my decision. But I was like, I don't want to do this anywhere. Yeah. Even if I had the ability to work from anywhere and do this job, it was just the job itself. I just felt like I've been there for too long. I was there for 7 years since I graduated college. So it was not my first job, but like my first post-college job.
Yeah.
So I definitely felt like I outstayed my stay there.
Yeah, like I was telling you a couple of nights ago, I don't know if my journey is over,
right?
As a journalist. I don't know if like I'll get a job that sounds like a good, they're giving me everything that I want, and maybe it will sound, appealing, and I'll go for it. And then that's when I can make that decision on, okay, did I hate my last station or did I just not want to be a journalist anymore? And I think that's where it kind of just like, it's hard to make that decision, but I would have never learned that or known that if I didn't take the leap that I did. And I was just like, you know what, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it.
Right.
Like whatever, like I'm in my 30s, I'm back home for a couple months, but it's not like, and the biggest thing that I would like to tell anyone thinking of leaving their job or changing a career or starting your own thing is make sure you have like somewhat of a plan. Like for me, I saved some money. I own in Phoenix, so I have a roommate. So like the mortgage is not as high, you know what I mean? Because we split it or whatever. So I have that support from my roommate and God that I was able to do that.
Yeah.
And to leave and feel comfortable and not feel like, damn, I'm like down deep.
Yeah. Because that opportunity wouldn't have.
Yeah. Because that's, you don't want to just like leave without a plan, because not everybody has that opportunity, like not everybody can do that. Yeah. And I get it. And that's okay. But if you do feel like you're not happy, or like, that you deserve better at a job, then you need to leave. Dead ass. Like, you just need to go.
I don't feel like any job is worth killing yourself over, because that's exactly how I felt. Because, during the thick of everything, COVID was happening.
Yeah.
The protests and all the unrest and the riots was happening. Like, there was a lot of stuff in the world that was going on that really made me question, like, what the hell am I doing here? And if I didn't finish my job, like, is anyone going to die? No. Is the world going to end? No. It's like, what purpose am I serving? So I had to really think about that as well.
For sure.
That was a big one for me.
Yeah, I think it's just like, it comes down to like what you're going to deal with from your employer and what you're willing to deal with and put up with.
Yeah.
And, I'm not going to sit here and say that my station was bad, like horrible. It wasn't.
No.
I feel beyond privileged to be able to have worked in a top market and be there, and I was trusted by that community, and I was trusted by my bosses to do my job, even when I sucked, because there were some nights where I sucked because it was just the anxiety and just like a lot. But they believed in me, and they trusted me, and they trusted that I would get work done.
Yeah.
But it was just too much of, it was a me thing. What do men say?
It's not you, it's me.
You, it's me.
Right. I mean, I had the same situation too at my job. It was great. I loved it. Loved the people I worked with. Loved the work that we did. But it was just like at a point where I just didn't see myself growing in that role anymore. And I couldn't see myself moving on in the next role. Like, I would look at my boss and be like, I don't want to do that. Is that my path? Because I had to also like look ahead. Like, okay, if I stay in my job, my company, in my industry, like, what's the next move? Because wherever I was, I outgrew, my role. So I looked beyond, and I was like, I just don't see myself in it down the line either. Yeah. So for me, it was like, I just need to get out and do something totally different. But yeah, I would definitely recommend thinking about it and not being so brash. But I think about it sometimes, and I think my quitting was like spontaneous, but it wasn't, because I actually wrote it down in one of my goals.
Yeah, but you've been wanting to.
Yeah.
You were just, like you said, you're indecisive. So you never really had that time.
Earlier on in the year, though, one of my goals was to quit my job by the end of the year. And I did that.
Yeah.
I went back and I looked, and I was like, holy shit, it actually happened.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, I just wanted to like have a little bit more freedom. I just didn't, I just don't feel like having to put vacation time a year in advance.
I know, that was like a big
healthy
thing.
It was that's just not how people live.
It's just like restricting.
And it was unfair, because, as a single woman, like, I don't have planned vacations. Like, if I want to go out of the country in 2 months, I'm going to fucking go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a family.
It's different.
I don't have to base my life around school vacation or summer vacation. Like, I don't live like that because I don't have a family.
So your job didn't really fit the lifestyle.
Yeah. And then my job, they have families. So that works out for many people who have families.
I think it's just a lot of stability.
I don't have children. I have a cat. That's it.
She needs you.
She needs me, but she ain't going on vacation with me. She's here though.
That's funny. I mean, yeah, I think a lot of work, it took a lot of work for us to even get to this point where we're like, okay, I gotta quit. Because we had mentioned at a different time, like, the conditioning you go under to like just be conditioned to work all the time. Like, it wasn't healthy. Feeling burnt out, feeling like you're not able to do the things that you want. And I don't know if that's like a privilege thing or not, but like, something just doesn't sit right with me when you're conditioned to like work as hard as you can to work at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is the first time I haven't had a job in like 15 years.
Yeah.
I've worked since I was 15
Mm-hmm.
or younger. And
Mm-hmm.
you also the same. And I've worked one job, two jobs, sometimes 3 jobs.
I mean, when I was in college, I was full-time student.
Yes.
And full-time at another job.
Yeah.
Like, who does that?
I did 7 days a week
crazy.
when I was in college too.
Yeah. Yes.
Why?
Who does that? and to top it all off, we were still going out.
It was a lot.
So you had full time, and you still sprinkled in good time.
Yeah, it was a lot. I was doing a lot. Too much.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it was fun, but like, it's just like, when am I going to have this opportunity? I don't know. What if I have a child next year? I mean, I'm not, but what if? I can't just quit my job. I can't just quit my job and do what I'm doing now.
I think the timing of everything, even with like the crazy stuff that's been going on, the timing just felt like it was right.
Yeah.
You know, like, because what other opportunities are you going to have?
Mm-hmm.
No responsibilities or anything like that. And still, you know, be responsible.
Yeah. And of course, like, if you're making, it's a huge step. So if you're making that decision, you really need to think about it. Like, don't be so like quick to quit your job. Unless you're like being abused. Like, if it's,
that's a whole different
that's
story.
A whole different story. That's not my case. But, you know, like, get out, you know, but just have a plan or something, a little plan. Not saying that I have a plan now, but
no,
you know,
but yeah, I think it's different for everybody.
Yes. Okay, so the craziest thing about this whole thing is that every time that I tell someone that I like left my job, that I resigned, the first thing that they say is, congrats.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, congratulations. And not saying that they knew anything about my job. They're just like, wow, hell yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. Like, they're like, congratulations. Like, Hannah's friend, remember at her party when she was like, wait, you guys are like inspiring me to quit my job. And I'm like,
hey, girl, preach. We're preaching right now.
Do it. Just do it. And then I'm like, wait, don't take my advice. Don't take my advice.
I think you just have to have some level of like faith and like just pure, like just faith that it's going to work out.
And be fearless.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like, if it's just a money thing, and we've had this conversation like one-on-one, like, if you're just there at your job for money, then you can literally do anything else that won't make you depressed, sad, anxious, burnt out, just to have money, you know? And we obviously had an opportunity to save money, and be a little responsible before we took, you know, this leap of faith. But like, I forgot where I was going.
I don't know. Come back to it. Put a pin on it.
Too much wine.
Put a pin.
But wait, I don't even know. Save money.
To save money.
Oh, not having money and being broke is like a temporary thing.
It really is.
You just got to be okay with it. You got to be okay with the time being that you're not going to have as much money as you had before. But that's just the feeling of being uncomfortable with like a new situation. Yeah. And you know, my spending has not yet adjusted to my new no income life.
I'm like, girl, what you doing? You ain't getting this money back. What are you doing?
So that just takes a little like reprogramming as well. Just like you have to adjust to your means, but that doesn't mean like you're not going to have money forever. Yeah. Like, being broke is temporary. Not making money is temporary. Being rich is temporary. Everything in life is temporary. It's temporary as fuck. So this moment stage that we're in right now, like, of just, you know, not sure what the next move is, you know, it's just temporary.
Yeah. I saw a meme. I was like laughing, waiting for you to finish, but I saw this meme. I think I sent it to you, that the girl's like, I've been broke before. I didn't die.
And I didn't die. She
just puts her glasses on and it's like,
oh yeah, that girl. What's her name? We gotta tag her.
Yeah, I forget. But she's like, I've been broke before. I didn't die. Eats her chips, put her glasses on. And I'm like, girl, this is so true.
It's so true. And
I didn't die when I was broke.
I think you have to have faith that you've been a lot more resilient in the past. Like, you're more resilient than you think. And you gotta have faith in that. And yourself and your ability to, like, you know, be a hard worker. These are things that I had to tell myself to, like, just, like, reassure myself that I was making the right decision for me, at least, was like, I know I'm hardworking. I've been that 7 days a week, 3 jobs at a time. I know that I'm smart.
Yeah.
I know that I can be dedicated and like do the things that I need to do because I've always done that, no matter what job it was. You know, you just get it done. So the next step, whatever it is, like it's no different because my faith in my abilities to get shit done and like see things through is a lot stronger than my fear of like not having money.
Yeah. It's all in your mind.
It is all a mind trick that your mind tries to tell you to stay comfortable. Don't leave your job. You need money. You're going to be broke. Like you can't listen to yourself even, I'm sure.
Everybody has those thoughts too.
Everyone has those thoughts and you have people around you questioning your decisions, you know? Like when I was like, I'm quitting my job and I'm moving across the country. What are you going to do? I don't know. Like literally when people ask me,
I started getting overwhelmed when people are like, what are you doing? And I'm like, can you shut up? Like, mind your business. I don't know what I'm doing. You're asking me a question I can't answer.
But think about it. No one even knows what they're doing anyway.
Yeah.
The only difference is that they know what they're doing. They know where they're going every day. But like beyond that, if you ask them to zoom out, what are you doing with your life? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nobody has all the answers. Just because you have a job and you have some sort of security right now doesn't mean that that's going to last forever either.
No.
So you writing that shit out to like just be like, I need money and this is what I'm going to do. Like that could all change. So for me, another point was like, I need to take that into my own hands. Like I saw people get laid off. I saw people get furloughed, fired, like people who don't go back to work. And then what do you do? When you don't have any options, you know?
You make it work.
You have to start making it work for yourself. You need to like build out the foundation for you to be able to live the life that you want, whatever it is. You want to like own like 10 million dogs. You want to buy a farm. You want to travel. All these things require money. Not all of them require you to work at a job though. So I think that's where the creativity comes in.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, if you're thinking of joining us on this no job journey, come along. Tell us your story, please.
We gotta do like a recap in a couple of months to see how this is going.
Like, so I had to return everything I bought.
I made a promise to myself though that I am gonna take the next year, 2022, to just do whatever my heart pleases. And that makes me so happy because there are so many things that I did like kind of half-assed, like a side hustle, that I want to see what happens if I put all my energy into it, you know, instead of just like a little time here and there, like how big can it grow? Like how far can this podcast go? Like how many businesses can we get out of like this 1 year of being super intentional, about building wealth? Really. Building wealth gives you freedom. And I think in the end, that's all we want is being free to do whatever it is that we want.
I want to be sending an email from a beach.
Yes. I want to be working at from beach. Some European cafe. I want to be like not tied to a desk or a boss. So I think my bigger goal now that I zoom out a little bit for myself at least is just to be my own boss. Like I don't want to go back to a 9 to 5.
I just learned that I don't know if I can handle a boss. Like I'm just like,
but these are real questions that you need to ask yourself, like, because working is such a huge chunk of our lives.
It's everything.
And, you know, some people can coast life without having a real job. And kudos to those people who have those, like, type of money or benefits or people helping them out or whatever. But, like, for people like us, we have to, like, decide that we don't want to work for someone else. And then we have to implement a plan to get there. Because no one's just going to hand us the life that we want.
They're not.
As much as I would love it.
I would love that. If anybody wants to, like, slide in.
Wants to support my ass. Sponsor me.
Seriously. Help me. This was our journey on quitting our jobs or resigning in my case.
It's really just the first stage.
And we'll see what happens and we'll give you guys an update. But this is the Great Resignation. I'm sure someone's thinking of leaving their job now. So
hopefully that video was helpful to you.
Maybe it inspires you to quit your job or to resign and find something that makes you happy.
If not, I hope at least it gives people the opportunity to really look at what they're doing and kind of assess if that's where they want to be. Because you have to look at your first year, 1 year goal, 3 year, 5 year, and then your life goals. And then are those little 1 year smaller goals getting you to where you want to be in life? Because that's really what it is.
Yeah. And another thing before we wrap up, we're not saying that like anyone that does work like a 9 to 5,
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
We've all been a part of that.
Yeah, we've all been a part of that. And there's some people that thrive in that. Congratulations. You're doing great. But if you're at a 9 to 5 where your boss doesn't, value you, or you hate your boss or whatever, like,
or if you
find another one.
Like, you just have bigger goals for yourself than working the 9 to 5 that you're in right now.
Yeah. Like, some people don't want to be their own boss. Some people like to have the big man pay them, and that's fine.
That's fine.
I know many people like that, and that's fine.
Stability.
Yeah. And like I said, my journey probably with TV news may or may not be over. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the next couple of months. But never say no. And yeah, good luck with everything. And I hope that you guys are happy.
That's the main thing. Main priority.
Happy. Just be happy at work, because if you're upset at work or you hate your job, that just ruins every other relationship in your life. It really, truly does. So yeah. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Great Resignation. Make sure that you follow us on all of our accounts. We have Instagram, we have TikTok, that's Crystal's Claws and Coffee. And just make sure that you're tuning in and like and subscribe.
Yeah. And let us know if you also quit your job or are thinking about it, because I would like to know how many of us are out there.
Mm-hmm. I want to hear your story. It matters. I love them.
Thanks.
Bye.